near shore. I will not veer towards the far shore. I will not sink in midstream. I will not get cast up on high ground. I will not get caught by human beings. I will not get caught by non-human beings. I will not get caught in a whirlpool. I will not become inwardly rotten. May I receive the going forth under the Blessed One. May I receive the higher ordination. And the Buddha said, in that case, Nanda, return the cows to their owners. And he said, the cows will go back of their own accord, Venerable Sir, out of attachment to the calves. And the Buddha said, return the cows to their owners, Nanda. Then the cowherd Nanda returned the cows to their owners, came back to the Blessed One and said, the cows have been returned to their owners, Venerable Sir. May I receive the going forth under the Blessed One. May I receive the higher ordination. I'll stop here for a moment. So here, this Nanda, he wants to ordain with the Buddha, and he has been looking after all these cows. And usually, if we leave the cows alone, they will wander back to their cow pen because of the calves, attachment to the calves. But the Buddha thought that he is going to become a monk. He has to make sure that the cows are given back to the owners, and the owners know that the cows have been returned to them. Then only he goes forth. There is nothing that is unsettled. A lot of people are very careless over these minor things. They think it's so minor. The cows will naturally go back. Why am I going to go and return them to the owner? But the Buddha is very particular about these things because it is important. It's important because if you go forth as a monk and you assume that the cows will go back. Along the way, maybe some cow thieves will steal, will kill the cow, maybe one or two of the cows, and the cows don't go back. In that case, then the owner will suspect that this Nanda stole the cow. That's why sometimes some people, they think the teacher is too fussy. Small things are so fussy, but actually it's important. Because he doesn't have the wisdom, so he doesn't think it's important. Then the cowherd Nanda received the going forth under the Blessed One, and he received the higher ordination. And soon, not long after his higher ordination, dwelling alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent, resolute, the Venerable Nanda became one of the Arahants. So this sutta is a very famous sutta about the log flowing towards the ocean. So if we go through life, the stream, the river of life, every time we flow along the river of life, every birth we suffer. And then as we suffer, we become more and more mature. As you become more and more mature, then we start to ask why we suffer. And then you want to find a way out of suffering. So then we search, and then if you come across the Dhamma, then if you get the right view, then you will naturally flow towards Nibbana. So unless these obstacles, there are several obstacles mentioned here. Don't veer towards the near shore, don't veer towards the far shore, don't sink in the midstream or get cast on high ground, etc. Okay, the next sutta is 35.243. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Sakyans at Kapilavatthu in Nigroda's park. On that occasion, a new assembly hall had just been built for the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu, and it had not yet been inhabited by any ascetic or Brahmin or any human being at all. Then the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side and said, Venerable Sir, a new council hall has just been built for the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu, and it has not yet been inhabited by any ascetic or Brahmin or by any human being at all. Venerable Sir, let the Blessed One be the first to use it. When the Blessed One has used it first, then the Sakyans of Kapilavatthu will use it afterwards. That will lead to their welfare and happiness for a long time. Stop here for a moment. The Buddha is a Sakyan, belongs to the Sakya clan. So these Kapilavatu, these people are all related to him. So they had just built a hall and not yet used. They wanted him to use it first. Then after that, they will use it. So from here, some people, they follow this tradition. Sometimes they buy a new house. They invite some monk to go and stay first. I've had the experience. But sometimes these people, they think monks are very ascetic. They invite the monk to the house and then they just provide a mat. Expect him to sleep on the cold floor. Young monk maybe boleh lah, old monk susah. The Blessed One consented by silence. Then when the Sakyans understood that the Blessed One had consented, they rose from their seats, and after paying homage to the Blessed One, keeping him on their right, they went to the new assembly hall. They covered it thoroughly with mats, prepared seats, put out a large water jug, and hung up an oil lamp. Then they approached the Blessed One and informed him of this, adding, "Let the Blessed One come at his own convenience." Then the Blessed One dressed, and taking bowl and robe, went together with the Sangha of monks to the new assembly hall. After washing his feet, he entered the hall and sat down against the central pillar facing east. The monks too, after washing their feet, entered the hall and sat down against the western wall facing east, with the Blessed One in front of them. The Sakyans of Kapilavatu too, after washing their feet, entered the hall and sat down against the eastern wall facing west, with the Blessed One in front of them. Stop here for a moment. So here you see the Buddha sat facing east. This in yoga, it is recommended that when we meditate, we face the east. So here also you notice the Buddha faces the east. Just like we meditate, we face the east. So the monks sat behind the Buddha, and the lay people sat facing the Buddha. The Blessed One then instructed, exhorted, inspired, and gladdened the Sakyans with the Dhamma Talk through much of the night, after which he dismissed them, saying, "The night has passed, Gotamas. You may go at your own convenience." Stop here for a moment. You see, he called them Gotamas because they are the same clan as him. He's also a Gotama. "Yes, Venerable Sir," they replied. Then they rose from their seats, and after paying homage to the Blessed One, keeping him on their right, they departed. Then not long after the Sakyans of Kapilavatu had left, the Blessed One addressed the Venerable Mahamoggallana thus: "The Sangha of monks is free from sloth and torpor, Moggallana. Give a Dhamma talk to the monks. My back is aching, so I will stretch it." "Yes, Venerable Sir," the Venerable Mahamoggallana replied. Then the Blessed One prepared his outer robe, folded in four, and lay down on his right side in the lion's posture, with one foot overlapping the other, mindful and clearly comprehending, after noting in his mind the idea of rising. Stop here for a moment. So here you see the Buddha took his outer robe, this one that we wear, and folded it in 4 layers, and he lay down on the right side in the lion's posture. Thereupon the Venerable Mahamoggallana addressed the monks thus: "Friends, monks." "Friend," those monks replied. The Venerable Mahamoggallana said this: "I will teach you, friends, an exposition on the corrupted and the uncorrupted. Listen to it and attend closely. I will speak." "Yes, friend," those monks replied. The Venerable Mahamoggallana said, "How, friends, is one corrupted? Here, having seen a form with the eye, a monk is intent upon a pleasing form, and repelled by a displeasing form. He dwells without having set up mindfulness of the body, with a limited mind, and he does not understand as it really is that liberation by mind, liberation by wisdom, wherein those evil, unwholesome states cease without remainder. Similarly, having heard a sound, having smelled an odor, etc., he is intent upon a pleasing phenomena and repelled by a displeasing phenomena. He dwells without having set up mindfulness of the body, with a limited mind, and he does not understand as it really is that liberation by mind, liberation by wisdom, wherein those evil, unwholesome states cease without remainder. This is called, friends, a monk who is corrupted amidst forms cognizable by the eye, corrupted amidst sounds cognizable by the ear, corrupted amidst odors cognizable by the nose, corrupted amidst tastes cognizable by the tongue, corrupted amidst touch or tactile objects cognizable by the body, corrupted amidst thoughts cognizable by the mind. When a monk dwells thus, if Mara approaches him through the eye, Mara gains access to him, Mara gets a hold on him. If Mara approaches him through the ear or through the nose, tongue, body and mind, Mara gains access to him, Mara gets a hold on him. Stop here for a moment. So here the Buddha says, one who is corrupted by forms, sounds, smells, taste, touch and thoughts. He is moved by them, corrupted by them. That means if it's pleasing, he attaches to it. If it's displeasing, then he feels aversion for it. Suppose, friends, there is a shed made of reeds or of grass, dried up, desiccated, past its prime. If a man approaches it from the east with a blazing grass torch, or from the west, from the north, from the south, from below or from above, whichever way he approaches it, the fire gains access to it. The fire gets a hold on it. So too, friends, when a monk dwells thus, if Mara approaches him through the eye, through the ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, Mara gains access to him, Mara gets a hold on him. When a monk dwells thus, forms overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm form. Sounds overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm sounds. Odors overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm odors. Tastes overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm tastes. Touch or tactile objects overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm touch or tactile objects. Thoughts overwhelm him, he does not overwhelm thoughts. This is called, friends, a monk who is overwhelmed by forms, overwhelmed by sounds, odors, taste, touch and thoughts. One who is overwhelmed and who does not overwhelm. Evil, unwholesome states have overwhelmed him, states that defile, that lead to renewed existence, that bring trouble, that result in suffering, and that leads to future birth, aging and death. It is in this way, friends, that one is corrupted. So here the Buddha says, if a monk is, the mind is not disciplined, then when the sixth sense objects impinge on his senses, he is moved by them. Either he craves if they are pleasing, or if they are displeasing, then he feels aversion for them. So because he is overwhelmed by these six sense objects, then once he is overwhelmed, the mind moves, these unwholesome states arise, and these unwholesome states lead to rebirth. Rebirth means future dukkha, aging, sickness and death. And how, friends, is one uncorrupted? Here, having seen a form with the eye, A monk is not intent upon a pleasing form, and not repelled by a displeasing form. He dwells having